before we start the show.
Wait. Cue the like you need like that that violin music real quick, please.
I don't have any violin
music.
Damn,
you should have had that shit set up. Okay, come on. Or like the I will remember you.
You guys are
in the
messing up
arms
the
of an
announcement.
angel. All right, go ahead. While Lou talks, I got you guys. I got you.
You gonna play something for us, Chris, in the background?
I'm gonna sing it a cappella, Acapulco.
Okay. We're just gonna in the background.
You guys are making this harder than it is. Oh my god. This is all going in the podcast that's gonna drop on Monday on YouTube. Just search Keep Game Podcast, and if you don't listen to us or you don't watch us, you can listen to us wherever you get your podcast. Just type in Keep Game Podcast. This is the announcement.
Okay.
This isn't. I'm not doing a GoFundMe, Fresco. Ladies and gentlemen, we have an announcement before we start the show. Next week will be the last show, not only of 2021, but for the seeable future of Keep Gaming Podcast. We are going to be ending the podcast after 37 episodes. This has been an amazing 1 year of, entertaining you guys and seeing this family grow. It literally started with nothing and then turned into something, and going out and streaming every day, or not even streaming, just making content and putting out work with each of you, whether it be Johnny BoomBotz, Miamo CG, Pawful, Fresco that came through, Riddler, M West, and all the other people that's been involved from day one. Has been an amazing journey, and I can't thank you guys enough. Again, this all legit started from nothing, and it came out of nowhere, and it blew up. And not to the point where, we're all over the radar, which was the ideal for this show to become. It may come back in the future, but right now, for me, and I'm just speaking for myself. I'm not speaking on behalf of the other three members of the podcast. It's very time consuming. It's a lot of work between myself doing individual streams, also work now that I started a new job, being a husband, being a father of 3 children. There's just too much time from prepping the show to doing the show, the after show, the editing, the promoting. And it's a lot of time and effort that's being dived into this. And it's just overwhelming for me, and I can't do it all. And I know people can say, oh, you can distribute these things to all these individuals here, and I get that. But for me, as the host and the creator of Keep Gaming Podcast, my intent was never to put this on anyone else. This was all my doing. All I wanted was a fun-filled, family-friendly, sometimes very crazy show for you guys, and I'm just overly grateful. I know originally this was not the intent. It was just me doing a show and just speaking about games and pop culture, comic books, TV shows. And occasionally I will have John on once in a while, or I have Chris on once in a while. And then we were like, let's just make this a thing. We're always on. And I'm at a loss for words, but I'm just so grateful for everyone that's come here once we decided to go live. And, share their love and support for us, and subscribe, give us bits, do hype trains, and just always be involved in the show. And it really means a lot. And I remember when I first started doing the Keep Gaming Podcast, and we've talked about this before, I will tell John, like, let's do it. And he'll be so nervous. And he's like, I don't know if I could do this. And I'm like, he's like, I'll use my iPad. And this was before John even started streaming or even thought about streaming. Yeah. I would constantly tell him, like, just do it, bro. You got this. And now look at John. He's doing great. Very proud of him. Very inspired by him because of all his success and his continued success and everything that he's doing and continue to do. So being that from one point he didn't want to even be on a fucking camera to now, you can't get him off a camera. It's unbelievable. And this is John's last episode too, because he won't be here for next week. And I want to make sure that we show John the amount of love that he's shown us, not only to me, but to Chris, Pawful, and everybody in the community. John's not going anywhere. He's still going to be streaming. But as far as next week's last episode, John won't be with us.
I'm not even coming back at all. I'm out.
Just gone for
share stream. The rest of the podcast. Share stream. That's it.
And again, like I said, it may or may not come back in the future. I don't know, because what my job has turned into is going to be a permanent weekend kind of a job, and I won't be available, and I'm not going to try and change others' lives because of my schedule as well. So it's just in the best interest for me and for the whole show to just end it here. We're gonna end it on 37 episodes, which is a huge accomplishment in my opinion, and I'm just so grateful for you guys. So before we start the show, I want to say thank you guys. I love you guys. You helped change my perspective on streaming and as a podcaster, as a host, and I truly love you guys. It's like family. So thank you so much. Appreciate you guys. So we're gonna start with the show. I probably should have waited for the end to do that.
Yeah,
But
for real. Like, we definitely we're starting that shit off with like some OD. Like now everybody's like, all right, we can start the show now, guys. All right. Like,
but I wanted to get that out there. I wanted to get that out there because I thought it was very important to get at the top of the show.
Fuck, I'm actually emotional right now, bro.
yeah, for real. Like, I'm legit. Like, no joke. Like, I'm legit. Honestly, like, okay, hold up. You know what? Fuck it. Before you even start the show, in all reality, like, I think we should. Each one of us should actually say like our own speech real quick, though. In all reality,
Okay.
like about
Yeah.
what's going on, because
John, go first.
I do want to say, like, in all honesty, I really do want to say that as much as Lou gets on my nerves 99% of the fucking time, but I can't stand the fucking kid half the time. I do love him though in a lot of ways because of the fact that if it wasn't for Lou, to be honest with you, and I say it a lot, if it wasn't for Lou, I wouldn't be where I am right now, and I wouldn't have gotten to where I gotten to as far as I am now because of the fact that Lou found me. We found each other through Call of Duty, through mutual friends and shit like that too. And then Lou had legit told me, "Dude, get on camera." I'm like, I'm not getting on camera. He's like, yo, no. He's like, come on, just fucking do a podcast for me real quick. I'm doing a podcast. I'm like, I'm not doing that. He's like, do it. And he kept pushing me and telling me, get on camera. And I'm like, no, dude, I'm not doing it. And eventually we ended up pushing me to get on camera. And he always jokes on me too with the fact that the very first episode I was on the podcast with him, I don't even think it was Keep Gaming yet at that time. I think it was a different name for the podcast.
Yeah,
he was on streams, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And legit was just me with my energy drink. My wife even told me afterwards too. She's like, "Stop fucking moving," because the whole stream was just me. Like I couldn't sit still. I'm moving. I was like so nervous. I was sweating profusely, and it was just, it was new for me to ever be in front of a camera. And so like I do need to say though, like as much as like I said, as much as me and Lou don't see eye to eye on things, we do argue at times, everything else too. But in all reality, the truth of the matter is though, I do owe Lou. I do owe Lou a lot though, because of the fact that without Lou, I wouldn't have been where I am now. I wouldn't have been, streaming. I wouldn't have been behind the camera in general though. And Lou did make Keep Gaming Podcast into what it is. He started it off with, he had his other podcast beforehand though, from what I know of, and different things too. And he did pull us together. He was the one that pulled us together. Like the times that we've been on vacation and still went live with our phones to try to be on camera and everything else too. And because of the podcast, we did meet each other. Me, Lou, and Chris went out to the movies together one time, and Lou and Chris got to hold hands while I sat 4 seats away because they didn't want me there. But it's all right though. But no, like because of that though, like we all of us, like we all know that within the streaming industry too, within the podcast streaming industry too, there are times that we may not be able to talk to each other every day, any day. But at the same time though too, we still have come together though every Saturday at 10 or 11 a.m. though, no matter what our lives have been though, and we've spent numerous 37 weeks of literally just, and that's what breaks in between too, like basically 37 weeks where we've had ups and downs, we've had personal things going on in our lives, we've had whatever it is, and we've shared it with each other off screen, not even on screen. And the truth of the matter is though, is that without Lou starting this off, we wouldn't have been where we are. None of us, Chris, Pawful, me, myself. You know what I mean? Like we wouldn't have met each other. We wouldn't have gotten together, and we wouldn't have been where we are now as the group that we are now. I know, like I never would have met Chris. Really, I would have never been like as friendly as I am with Chris now. I mean, I probably would have met him on stream or something like that, but it never would have been where I got to know Chris like this. I never would have gotten to know Paul for the way I do. I never would have gotten to know Lou the way I wish I didn't get to know Lou. But no. Well, I joke around a lot though, but in all reality though, like I could not be happier though than with the four of us that we have met each other and the memories we did make with each other over the past 37 weeks, and everybody that came through, from chat coming through and being there with us, from chat, spending time with us and just taking time out of your day. Like you guys could spend your time with anybody else, though, but you choose to spend your Saturday afternoons, 12 o'clock to 1, Absolutely. 2 o'clock with us every Saturday. So I know this is my last week. I won't be here next week, unfortunately, because when the guys go live next weekend, I will be watching the Spider-Man movie. But I do want to thank Lou for the opportunity, for being on the podcast, for giving me the opportunity to finally get behind the camera, get over my nerves to stream, and give me the platform to be where I'm at this point in time, though, and to help me start off on my journey. And I want to thank Pawful for being with us the entire time, though, and I want to thank her for jumping on. She jumped on a couple weeks, like a month or two back or whatever. But I want to join her. Thank her for joining in with us too, and Chris. Chris for always keeping the chat laughing no matter what, even during sad times. Like Chris has always managed to come through with like some random shit, throwing water bottles, dancing on beds, giving us the sexy eyes, whatever it may be though. But you guys have all come together as a family though, and that goes for the chat, that goes for everybody, and all four of us in general. Like I want to thank you guys, especially you guys in the chat. I'm not gonna cry. I got this. I'm good.
Don't cry, because then I'll cry.
I appreciate the kind words, John. But I disagree. I think whether it been me or anybody else, you guys would have been amazing, because you guys were amazing prior. You had so much potential, and that's what I saw when I asked you guys to join the show. So you guys don't owe me anything, man. If anything, I owe you guys, because this is not possible without you guys. But thank you for the kind words. I truly appreciate it, man. Thank you. Chris, do you have anything you want to say?
I can't even talk right now. So.
Oh my god. Oh, man, I didn't think this was gonna get like this.
36, guys. We should have waited to the end of the fucking podcast for this one.
Shit. All right, hold on.
I didn't think this was gonna be like this. I did not anticipate this, man. I'm sorry.
No, I don't think any of us did.
The truth is, the reason this is gonna be ending is because we all hate each other. Fuck. I'm trying not to be emotional, but
oh god.
All right, let me see. What can I say? So I'm only getting emotional because I was this close to quitting my streaming career before Lou had asked me to be a part of this podcast and introduced me to everybody, not only on the podcast, but in the community in general. And I'm forever grateful for that, Lou, because I was super depressed. I remember telling you guys, for some reason, the Fortnite shit blew me up at one point, and I went from averaging like 50 viewers to having internet issues. And then when I tried to come back, I had like freaking 2. And I was just gonna quit. I was like, you know what? It's not worth it. I put so much money into this shit. The investment isn't working. So then when you asked me to be a part of it, I was having so much fun with it. And then I wasn't realizing that the community was just constantly growing to the point where now I feel like I'm doing pretty well. And not only just creating content for people, but just being a part of this and keeping people happy. I never get sad on stream. I try not to. I'm here to make people laugh. I like being entertaining. So I just want to say I appreciate you for the opportunity. And I can't wait to see what we all continue to do, because I know we're going to continue working on our own separate things. And hopefully in the future we can work on things together as well. Collab streams, all this extra stuff. There's plenty of stuff that we can do. So I just want to say I appreciate you. And Johnny, Pawful, you guys are always super supportive. You always come to stream and show love, and we bounce ideas off of each other, and for the community as well. I mean, you guys are awesome, man. Every day you guys show up to my stream, whether it's for a couple minutes or not. I always appreciate it. So thank you so much. Sorry. Fuck.
Man, I don't even know how to respond. I think with Chris, we've known each other from the church that we went to back in Staten Island. Of course, Chris now lives in Florida. And I knew Chris as an artist, a Christian artist at that. And as time went on, I seen Chris posting stuff of streaming, and I'm like, oh, that looks cool. But then when I got into streaming, I looked to him in the beginning because he was the only person that I personally knew who streamed. And then of course, Fresco inspired me to stream. And then when I was watching his content and I saw he was not streaming anymore, he was just saying like, he's going through some stuff. And I was like, yo, but I think we vibe well, like we get along well. Maybe you should do a show with me, considering your knowledge of comic books and stuff like that. And he was like, yeah, let's do it. And from the first show that we did, it just took off. The friendship, like it grew. It was never like this. And I think it was the game which we're going to be talking about today, playing It Takes Two, that brought us closer together. And after that, I think the friendship just continuously grew. And I I'm so grateful for the opportunity to work with all you amazing people. I know John had mentioned the game to me first, and I'll show a clip of that later. And I totally dismissed John. I'm like, nah, this game looks whack. But then Chris was like so adamant, like, come on, do this with me. And I'm like, oh, fuck, fine, I'll do this shit. And I had an amazing time. And it just it started like molding the team. And I didn't know that, to be honest, I didn't know that Chris was gonna actually stop streaming and call it quits. And I'm glad that he joined, and it brought this side of him that I knew was within him, because I always saw the potential in it. And I think Chris is great, and he's just getting better with his content and just inventing things, and man, it's so great. I'm just so grateful, man, for the opportunity to work with these individuals and to see them grow. And I feel like I'm a grandfather, although I'm not, because I'm not even the biggest streamer here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just stream Call of Duty and I die all the time. And it's just to work with these people and see them, like I said, see them grow, like seeing John grow, seeing Chris grow, and also seeing Pawful. Like, Pawful was just like tipping her toe into streaming, but I actually met her in John's stream, and I just loved her vibes. And then I saw her stream for the first time. I'm like, yo, this girl is fucking great. And when I mentioned it to Chris and John, I said, I want her on the show. Do you think she'll say yes? And they were like, yeah, let's do it. Let's ask her. I'm like, yo, I'm going to ask her, because I personally never met a person with her charisma, her laugh, and her knowledge for video games. And not just your main AAA titles, her love for indie titles and Nintendo and PlayStation. I was like, I love this girl. I gotta have her. You know what I'm saying? Not like that. I'm not trying to steal it from you, Joey. But I was like, I gotta have her. And when I asked her, she said, yeah. And I was like, fuck, this is great. And I want to pass it to you, Pawful, the first lady of Keep Gaming Podcast. Do you have any words?
First, just puppy cleanser, little puppy palate cleanser for us.
Thumper!
We love you, Thumper.
He knows, like, we're all upset because he's just been sitting back here behind me. But yeah, I mean, like you said, Lou, like, I started tiptoeing into streaming, and I never thought it would be as big as it is now. I never thought I'd be on a podcast. Never thought people would want to listen to my opinions. And the bond that I've shared with you guys, it's just incredible to have people I've never met, just to be incredibly close to them. And oh God, I'm gonna start crying. But yeah, Joey's got the tissue.
Good man.
That's all he's here for. And then he's like, by the way, and I'm like, thanks, Joey. But for real, oh my God. I never thought I'd be asked to be on this. Like, I remember telling Joey when you guys asked me, I was like, I think they just want me as a guest. I don't think it's a permanent thing. Like, it's fine. And like, I've had my issues with streaming, and it's just been such a struggle for me to get back into it, because like internet and everything. Like, Chris knows this all too well. Like, it's emotional. And then to have this kind of closing a chapter. We're not closing the book. We're just closing the chapter. Absolutely. We're going to move forward. We're going to be making our projects. But this has given me such confidence to do what I want to do and try. Yes, honey, I know. I'm fine. He's whining. But like, I never thought I'd be friends with people who they play games. Like, there's so many games you guys recommended to me that I've played and I love them, and like, vice versa. Like, being able to hop into your guys' chat and just know that I'm gonna have a good time. Like, it's just been amazing. And I mean, I'm just so grateful for this opportunity and for all the people I've met through chat. Like, this community is just so amazing and so loving. And like, the times that I've thought about, oh, I'm just going to hang up Twitch on the wall. Like, it's just not working for me right now. And just have everybody be like, no, we'll wait. Like, sort your shit out, girl. Like, you're fine. And to have people be backing me up is just wild. So I'm okay. I don't know if you can hear him whining, but he's losing his shit right now.
Aww.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just, it's bittersweet.
Yeah.
Like I'm ready to see what we all do forward,
Absolutely.
but to just close this chapter, it's just kind of sad. But you
Yeah.
know, I wouldn't have it any other way. I really appreciate you guys.
Thank you. I appreciate all you guys again. I feel like I'm just repeating myself, but you know, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I mean, grateful for the community, grateful for the friends that we've met here, and we're not going anywhere. This is not goodbye.
Right.
We're all again going to be doing our own thing, but it means so much to me to see the love and the appreciation from you three individuals and just the chat and the communities. I mean, we're all a part of our own discords and stuff like that, but we all still are in each other's, you know, family and friends, and we really go out there and support one another. And I think for me, throughout my life up until this point, I finally found something that I really love doing, and that's streaming. And there was a moment where I wanted to quit before I even started. And it was the support system of my wife. And if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here. And, you know, me talking to her about closing this chapter and telling her why, she first said, "Is this what you really want?" And deep down inside, this is not what I really wanted. But I knew that I needed to do this because I needed to focus more, not just on my streaming career, but more on my family. I know a lot of people in this community, they're not in my shoes. You know, they're not married, they don't have 3 kids. It's hard to balance these things. And for those that have kind of the same situation, like people like Relish or Wes, they know the struggle of being a gamer, a streamer, content creator, a husband, you know, father, a family man. It's difficult, man. There's a lot of pressure on you, and it's not like I'm running away from my problems, but I'm trying to figure out this thing called life. And at the end of the day, this is what it's about. There's gonna be ups and downs, and I'm just so thankful for this opportunity to learn and be around these great individuals. It's made me a better person. It's made me a better content creator, a better streamer. And I don't know I don't know where I go from here, but I know this is a learning experience, and I'm just thankful for it. And I'm gonna leave it at that. I don't even know how I proceed with this show, but we still have a show to give the people that have been here since day one. And
yes, sir.
Let's wipe the tears, because I didn't think I was gonna cry. And let's do it.
I smoked before the show. That's why my eyes are red. Do not worry, we about to get lit. Let's go, baby.
All right, everybody, welcome to Keep Episode Gaming. Okay, that's why I don't do this is why I don't do the intros. This motherfucker just really just poured water all over his head in his room. I'm done. I'm out. That's it. I'm done.
Oh man, this is gonna be one for the ages, man.
Woo.
Oh,
we back.
Oh wait, West wrote.
Oh, Wes wrote a lot. Shit, should I just have him jump in the show? And for those that don't know, Wes is very big on this show. He's done a lot of stuff for us in the background, not just for me, for John, everybody. He's helped people with their Discords, and he's helped people with their streams.
Gosh, yeah.
Wes has been a dear friend to me. I knew Wes before everyone knew Wes, and that's another story for another day. But I am grateful for Wes, because if it wasn't for him, you wouldn't see what you see in the background. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't see the different overlays in everyone's stream. The guy works fucking hard. And John, do you want to read what he wrote? Because I can't read.
All right. So Wes said, "I'm very disappointed as a friend and fan of the show. I totally understand having responsibilities, but you make time for what's important. What you have here is magic, meeting the team you assembled. Lu, you're very talented and love seeing your video work, but you've started and stopped a few projects over the years. I can't speak for the community, but only for myself, and I feel this is one of the shows you should dig your heels into the sand and keep gaming. I respect that you're ending the show and will always support each and every one of you guys, but I sincerely think this is a bad move. With that said, I wish everyone here nothing but the best. This show and the folks here are like family. I love watching everyone grow, and this has been an amazing journey.
Thank you. Wes, I appreciate it, man. I think if there's anything that I take from this message is honesty. And I think we've always been honest with one another, even in our private conversations. So I really, 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 truly appreciate all you've done for not just me, but for everybody in the communities. And you're a big part, man. And I've always said, like, I love watching you. I've always loved watching you. And I wish that I could see more of you. Being that you're in the West Coast, it's hard to get your stream sometimes. I go to the VODs, and I'm just so inspired by your talent, bro. The guy literally teaches himself everything, and he works so hard, and I'm just so grateful for him. And if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't even have a Discord. So thank you. Okay, we're gonna start.
You have a Discord?
No, I don't have a Discord. That was a joke. Hey guys, welcome back to another. Shit, I can't even talk. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Keep Gaming Podcast. This is episode 36. I am your host, Lu Nieves Jr., and I am joined by the cast of Keep Gaming Podcast. Johnny BoomBotz, what is going on, man?
Thank you for having me. I appreciate being here.
We also joined by the horniest man on Twitch, Miyamo CG. What's going on, brother?
You know the vibes.
And last but not least, the first lady of Keep Gaming Podcast, Pawful. What is going on?
Got my little wreath earrings. We ready?
I love the earrings, by the way. I've said that when we were in Discord, or not in Discord, when we were in pre-show. Like, yo, I love your outfit. I love the earrings. It's good. I want Chris to get earrings like that. What happened to the thing? You were supposed to wear like a Japanese robe. What is it called?
I still got them.
What's the Japanese robe thing called? Kimono?
Kimono.
Yeah, I need you to wear that, bro. I need you to wear that. So today we're going to be talking about the Game Awards. It was Thursday. It's a celebration for gamers and games and just entertainment. You know, you got game movies and TV shows, and it's just a great time to really reflect on last year's pretty much all the games and their accomplishments. And the one thing we're going to be focusing on is Game of the Year, which was announced to be It Takes Two. And that's a game that pretty much everyone here, I don't know if Pawful played it, but we've all played. Johnny platinumed it. And it's an amazing game. We talked about it a couple episodes back with Fresco on it, and we all feel that this game should win. And we were afraid that it wasn't going to happen. Mm-hmm. And when they announced it, I was excited. I know Chris was. Me and Chris, we made a podcast. I'm going to show you a clip now talking about, can this be the Game of the Year? And this was back in April of 2021. So I'm going to show you this clip, and then we're going to get into the episode. My boy Johnny BoomBotz said, yo, Lou, I got a game for you called It Takes Two. I watched the trailer. I said, nah, it doesn't interest me. A day later, Chris hits me. I'm like, yo, Lou, I got a game for you. I was like, you know, my boy told me, I'll give it a try. And that caused some problems. But anyway, we played this game. It Takes Two. It was something that I didn't think was going to be fun. And at the end, when the credits rolled, I said to myself, this is probably the best game of 2021. We both feel that this is one of the best games. I know for me, it's probably the most fun I've ever had in a video game in a very long time. Like the most fun. As far as Game of the Year, this hands down. I know we're in just April and we got Resident Evil coming out next month and a couple other games. Yeah, like if God of War comes out at the end of the year, maybe. I know that there's a lot of other big third-party games coming out this year. I just feel like there's gonna be they're gonna have to do a lot to really get to this game.
It's a good game, man. Yo, that's great.
So that was a clip of myself and Miyamo CG talking about Game of the Year of It Takes Two. You guys don't even know what happened behind the scenes as that clip was playing. That's why these two lunatics are laughing the way they're laughing.
Yo, because it's the fact that she caught what she just said.
As soon as it left my mouth, I was like, yeah.
All right, so to give some context, what happened? So we saw Chris at a different angle, and Chris is like, "Yo, I look mad fat there." I'm like, maybe it's just the angle. I was
mad fat there,
right?
I lost weight, thank God, because my face was looking a little crazy.
So I was like, maybe it's just the angle, and then Pawful says. John's like, I don't know what to say. Pawful says, I like this angle. It gives us a great full frontal or something like that. I'm like, oh, God.
Damn, bro.
Yeah, Robert said, look, Lou took all the weight that Chris lost. Damn. Damn, that's fucked up. It's the angle. I can give you a full frontal too if you want. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, it's the McDonald's diet. That's what it is.
The McDonald's diet. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's funny. Oh shit.
We all gotta just chug some water.
But I wanna start with John, man. John put this game on the map for me. I knew nothing of this game. Gone. John came to me and was like, "Yo, Lou, we should play this." He's been wanting to play A Way Out. And I'm like, whatever. I don't really want to play it. But then he's like, yo, this is a new game. It's the same studio. Let's do it. I'm like, it don't look that good, bro. That was my initial reaction. John, what were your thoughts when you finally played this game and platinumed it?
Oh, then you know what my thoughts when I kept telling you to fucking play the game. You kept telling me no, because I was about to be like, well, it's real simple on that one. What else is new, Lou? How many other things do I tell you, Lou, let's do? And you're like, no, we're not going to do it. And then 5 months later, he's like, yo, I got this crazy idea, bro. We're going to do this real quick. And I'm like, yo, can we clip the fact that we had that conversation 6 months ago, bro? So no,
I give it to John. He did put me on. He put me onto it.
So when It Takes Two, though, the truth of the matter is that It Takes Two, because I think I got put onto it through Cineax, if I'm not mistaken, because Cineax is another streamer. He's very big into the deep of the gaming industry. He's very deep into like knowing the developers, knowing the names, and knowing like the real deets of the developers and shit. So we were talking about the game and everything else too, and I had brought it up, and I was like, me and him played it.
Yeah.
And when we played it, it was just such a shocker, because a lot of people that know me, that come to my streams, know me as a gamer and all too. I even had this conversation the other day. Prior to streaming, I did not game. I gamed on occasion here and there. I have played more games in these past 8 months than I have my entire life of 37 years. I was never a gamer, but I've dabbled here and there on occasion with different things. When It Takes Two came out, it was just so different and so innovative in its way, because of the fact that you had to work as teamwork. And I've done the co-op games in the past. We had like on N64 and shit, or PlayStation, but those weren't relying on each other as much as this game did. This game, if you didn't have teamwork, you weren't going to be able to make it through the game. Absolutely. And if you didn't have conversational skills to be able to actually talk to your partner, which is I don't know how Chris and Lou made it through. I don't understand how that happened.
Chris fucking trolled me so much, bro.
Chris had to have carried that shit, because we know Lou has no communication skills.
I was the one trying to talk. He was fucking me up. He was killing me on purpose.
Lou, I handle all the puzzles though. You got to admit.
Yeah, you're right.
No, yeah, that's true. That's the one thing too that I can say right now though. That was one thing that I know Chris loved. That is something that me and Chris have very big in common with that.
Yeah.
The puzzles in It Takes Two were fresh. And the best part about It Takes Two, no matter how many, I played it twice. I played it once all the way through, then I played it again in Platinum did with Mortal. No matter what, even playing it the second time, the puzzles still felt fresh. The game didn't feel boring the second time around. And every single level was different. You never felt like you were doing the same thing again. The Easter eggs that were in there were great, but it always felt different. Like it literally felt like you were going through your entire childhood of story of anybody in the game. Every kind of game you could possibly think of, dungeon crawlers to overheads to first-person shooters. You played through every genre of gaming from the beginning to the end in some way or form, and they made it feel fluid. It didn't feel blocky, and it's a small studio. It's not even a AAA studio. Hazelight Studios is not your AAA titles, and they focus and they are amazing. They did A Way Out, which was a little bit choppier than this, but they're slowly perfecting it. They did A Brother's Tale. After A Brother's Tale, they did A Way Out. After A Way Out, they did this, and I can only see where they're going to go in the future, because they are just banging it out one after the other and getting better and better and better, and I cannot wait to see where they go with it. So I am so proud of them for that, and so glad that they deserved it, because they definitely deserved Game of the Year by far.
And they also won Best Multiplayer too. So
yes, they won too.
Yeah, and they won Family Game of the Year too. Some people were kind of questioning about that. But Chris, what are your thoughts on this big accomplishment for a small studio like John was saying? What are your thoughts?
Indie games taking over, baby. Both the games. I'm just happy both the games I wanted to win won. Okay, so Kino won. Congratulations to them for their first game of the year. Their first game, indie game of the year. And It Takes Two. I mean, I already knew about this studio through A Way Out. And John, I'm sorry. I just, I knew how to get Lou to play the game. I knew how to convince him. The only way The only way to convince Lou is just involve money, right? So I told him, yo, I already bought it. You don't have to pay for shit. All right. So
I thought you were gonna say McDonald's. Like, bro, you play the game with me? I'll come to New York. I'll treat you to McDonald's, but Gucci, I got you.
I said,
a wine and dine your
that's a way to my heart, man.
You don't have to pay for a thing. I bought the game. Let's just do it. You know what I'm saying? I was like, it's not for kids. I know it looks cartoonish, but come on, let's go. And as soon as he heard what free front pass, got you. That's what sold him. But I'm so happy this game won because when we played it, like as we were playing, both of us were just like in awe of how good the actual game was.
Yeah.
The smoothness of the game.
Yeah.
Just the pacing. There was maybe like 2 spots that the pacing was a little bit slow. But outside of that, everything else just worked perfectly. The story was great. The ending made sense. It wasn't like a lackluster ending.
Yeah.
Especially the last one being music, especially for me and Lou, because we both came from like music background type stuff. So that for us, it was like the last one being music was just a perfect ending for us.
Yeah.
So congratulations to them. I cannot wait to see what they keep putting out because they keep changing it up. Because A Way Out was super realistic, and you know they looked human type stuff, and then this it was cartoonish, little dolls, stuff like that, and it still worked so well.
Yeah.
So I cannot wait.
Pawful, being that you never played this game, and I know you've seen some things, what are your thoughts on an indie title like this winning Game of the Year?
I think it's fantastic. So I have played A Way Out and Brothers. So I knew when this got announced and I watched people play it, I was like, yes, this is on my list of a game to play. Just haven't gotten around to it. So when it won, I was like really happy because it really puts indie games on the map because now people are going to start taking these indie games more seriously. And I think that's a fantastic thing because like you said earlier, I love indie games. I love supporting a lot of the smaller companies. I love finding games that like just are like hidden gems kind of. And I think this is a great game with like cooperative puzzles, all just everything into one. And I feel like more people should be paying attention to indie games and them winning Game of the Year just really helps.
Yeah, I think this is great. I think this is also, you know, when Chris mentioned Keenan winning Indie Game of the Year, I feel like it's influencing and pushing the gamers to try other games outside AAA of what we're accustomed to. I've never been an indie game player. I never really thought of it. My titles were just sport games and first-person shooters and PlayStation exclusives, so to speak. And I never really focused. It wasn't until I started streaming where I learned more about the industry and about these indie games. And playing It Takes Two was something that I've never experienced before in my life, and I really loved it. And then diving into Kena Bridge of Spirits, man, what a beautiful immersed game, and simple but amazing at the same time. I still have a little bit of things to nitpick about it. It's not a perfect game, but man, being that it's their first game and it looked the way it looked and it felt the way it felt, the music was beautiful, the colors were vibrant. It was just, it's come to the point where you got to respect the indie titles now because they're up to par with these AAAs, and they don't even have the sources, the resources, the money, or anything, and they're taking over. Look who they beat out. They beat out Deathloop, which got 10s throughout the whole year and got crazy amounts from Bethesda, who has a lot of money of advertisement. They beat out Metroid Dread. They beat out Resident Evil Village, Ratchet and Clank. These are big games that have history and have big money around them. And they beat them. And they've been getting awards outside of the Game Awards as well. But because the Game Awards is like the Grammys or the Oscars, it's the biggest or celebration, so to speak, of these awards. And it was amazing to see. And I'm really proud of what they've done. And I can't wait to see what they do next. I think it's great. So that's going to be it for this episode. We're going to dive into the post show because now we only got a little bit of time left. But we want to talk about more of the Game Awards and talk about the winners from other titles and even talk about the announcements of new games coming out next year. So I want to thank you all for being here. Remember, we'll post a show on Monday. YouTube, just search us on YouTube, Keep Gaming Podcast, and listen to us wherever you get your podcast. Just search Keep Gaming Podcast. We love you guys. Until next time, keep gaming. Peace.